Hey Rich, welcome back to another episode of the Clovis Brief. It's Thursday, May 14, 2026, and the weather in Wonder Lake is pretty pleasant right now. The temperature is at a comfortable 67 degrees, and it's feeling even cooler at 60.8 degrees with the light breeze at 5.5 mph. Clear skies for now, but the forecast shows partly cloudy conditions with a high of 68 and a low of 37 tonight. Looking ahead, the weekend's looking a bit more stormy with rain on Saturday and light drizzle on Sunday, so you might want to keep an umbrella handy. Now, moving on to today's episode, we've got some exciting tech news and a security briefing lined up for you. We'll also be diving into the PCNSE study material, focusing on PanOS updates and licensing, which is crucial for staying up to date with the latest in network security. And of course, we'll be checking out what's trending on GitHub. Rich, you're going to love the insights we have planned for today. Rich, let's dive into some of the top stories from Hacker News this week that I think you'll find interesting as a senior infrastructure and security engineer. First up, there's a story about removing the modem and GPS from a 2024 RAV4 hybrid. This isn't just about stripping out some tech for the sake of it, it's about privacy and control. The author goes through the process of disabling these components to avoid data collection and potential vulnerabilities. For someone in your position, this highlights the importance of understanding how data is collected and managed in connected devices. It's a reminder that even our vehicles can be data points in the vast network of IoT devices. Now, moving on to something that might interest you from a security standpoint. AmazonBot, Amazon's web crawler, is now respecting the robots.txt file. This is significant because it means websites can better control what parts of their content are indexed by AmazonBot. This is a step towards more transparent and respectful data collection practices, which is great for webmasters and security professionals alike. It's a win for privacy and gives us more tools to manage our online presence. Here's something interesting related to macOS security. A public exploit for kernel memory corruption on the Apple M5 chip has been released. This is a serious issue, as kernel vulnerabilities can lead to full system compromise. For us, this underscores the importance of staying up to date with security patches and keeping a close eye on the latest exploits. It's also a reminder that no system is immune, and we need to be vigilant about security across all platforms. Next, let's talk about gaming on a MacBook Air with an RTX 5090. The article explores the capabilities of external GPUs, eGPUs, for gaming on a MacBook Air. This is fascinating from an infrastructure perspective, as it showcases the flexibility and power of modern hardware. It's a good example of how we can adapt and extend the capabilities of our existing systems to meet new demands. This kind of innovation can be applied to data center infrastructure, where we're always looking for ways to improve performance and efficiency. Speaking of exploits, there's a new one targeting Nginx. This exploit, called Nginx Rift, could potentially allow attackers to execute arbitrary code on the server. This is a critical issue, especially for anyone running Nginx servers. It highlights the ongoing arms race between security professionals and attackers. We need to stay on top of these developments and ensure our systems are patched and secure. This is a good reminder to review our server configurations and apply the latest security updates. Now, let's touch on a GitHub trending repo that caught my eye. Review is a new UI framework for Rust that allows developers to build web applications with Rust. This is interesting because it combines the performance benefits of Rust with the ease of web development. For infrastructure engineers, this kind of tool can offer new ways to build efficient, secure applications. It's also a good example of how the Rust ecosystem is growing and providing more options for developers. Another trending repo, Chronos, is a tool for managing and visualizing cron jobs. This is a handy tool for system administrators and DevOps engineers. It allows for better visibility and management of scheduled tasks, which can be a critical part of maintaining infrastructure. It's a good reminder of the importance of having tools that help us manage and monitor our systems effectively. Lastly, let's talk about a story that's not directly tech-related, but still interesting. President Kornbluth's message about funding and the talent pipeline at MIT is a reminder of the broader context in which we work. The funding landscape and the availability of skilled talent are critical factors in driving innovation and maintaining a competitive edge in the tech industry. It's a good reminder to stay informed about the larger trends and challenges in the tech ecosystem. That wraps up our tech and developer news segment for today, Rich. Stay tuned for more updates and insights. Today, Rich, we have a few critical CVEs that you'll want to keep an eye on, especially since they affect some of the technologies in your home lab and work environment. Starting with the Linux kernel, there's a vulnerability flagged as CV-2026-31431. This one involves an incorrect resource transfer between spheres, which could lead to privilege escalation. It's pretty serious, so you'll want to ensure you're running the latest kernel updates to mitigate this risk. If you haven't already, consider setting up automatic updates for the kernel on your Proxmox and Unraid systems. Moving on to Palo Alto Networks PAN-OS, there's a critical issue with CV-2000-26-300. This vulnerability involves an out-of-bounds write in the user ID authentication portal service, which can be exploited by an unauthenticated attacker to execute arbitrary code. Since you use this both at work and for study purposes, it's essential to apply the latest patches to your PAN-OS devices as soon as possible. Another notable vulnerability is CV-2000-41940, which affects cPanel and WHM and WPTWO, WordPress squared. This one involves an authentication bypass in the login flow, allowing unauthenticated remote attackers to gain unauthorized access. If you're using these tools in your home lab, make sure to update to the latest versions and check for any security advisories from the vendors. Now let's talk about Cisco. There's an authentication bypass vulnerability in the Cisco Catalyst SD-WAN controller and manager as noted by CV-2000-26-20182. This allows an unauthenticated remote attacker to bypass authentication and obtain administrative privileges. Since you have Cisco equipment at work, it's critical to patch this vulnerability as soon as possible to prevent unauthorized access. For Windows, there's a protection mechanism failure in the shell, identified as CV-2000-26-32202. This vulnerability allows an unauthorized attacker to perform spoofing over a network. Ensure your Windows systems are up to date, especially if they are part of your home lab or connected to your work environment. Lastly, for Home Assistant, while there aren't specific CVEs listed here, it's always a good practice to keep your Home Assistant and its components up to date. The latest security patches often address vulnerabilities that haven't been publicly disclosed yet. That wraps up today's security briefing. Rich, keep your systems up to date, especially with these critical vulnerabilities, and stay vigilant. Rich, today we're diving deep into PAN-OS updates and licensing. This is a critical area on your PCNSE exam, and it's a bit like making sure your car is not only running on the latest fuel, but also has all the latest safety features installed. Let's start with content updates. These include App ID, threat prevention, antivirus, and wildfire updates. Think of these as the latest road maps and safety alerts for your vehicle. App ID updates help you identify new applications, which is like knowing the latest apps on your phone. Threat prevention updates, on the other hand, are like the latest security patches for your operating system, ensuring you're protected against the latest threats. Antivirus updates are similar, but they're focused on protecting you from malware, which is like keeping your vehicle clean of any potential viruses or bugs that could cause a breakdown. And wildfire updates, they're like the advanced diagnostics that can detect the most sophisticated threats, giving you the peace of mind that you're protected. Now, moving on to PAN-OS software updates. These are the major updates to the core operating system, which is like upgrading the engine and transmission of your car. You might not do this every day, but it's crucial for maintaining the performance and security of your vehicle. These updates often bring new features and significant improvements, so you want to stay on top of them. Here's something interesting. When you're managing these updates, you need to consider your licensing model. Palo Alto Networks uses a subscription licensing model. This is like having a maintenance plan for your car. It ensures you have access to the latest updates and features, but you need to keep your subscription current. For the PCNSE exam, you need to know that without a valid subscription, you won't get access to the latest content updates or software updates. Now, let's talk about CDSS, or Cloud Delivered Security Services. This is like having a cloud-based mechanic who can diagnose and fix issues on your vehicle from anywhere. CDSS enables you to leverage cloud-based services for content updates and security services. This means your firewall can get updates from the cloud, which is much faster and more efficient than traditional methods. Rich, this is a big deal because it reduces the load on your local infrastructure and ensures you're always up to date with the latest threat intelligence. SaaS security is another critical aspect. This is like having a security system for your car that monitors and protects you while you're driving. SaaS security helps protect your applications and data in the cloud. For the PCNSE exam, you need to understand that SaaS security is an additional service that you can subscribe to, and it's crucial for securing your applications in the cloud. Now, Rich, let's talk about some of the gotchas that trip people up on the PCNSE exam. One common mistake is not understanding the difference between content updates and software updates. Content updates are the regular updates to the threat and application databases, while software updates are the major changes to the PAN-OS itself. Another gotcha is not knowing the licensing model well enough. You need to know that certain features, like CDSS and SaaS security, require specific licenses and subscriptions. Lastly, Rich, don't forget about the importance of keeping your subscriptions current. Without a valid subscription, you won't have access to the latest content updates or software updates, which can leave your network vulnerable. That's it for today, Rich. Remember, PAN-OS updates and licensing are like maintaining your vehicle, crucial for performance and security. Stay on top of your subscriptions, keep your updates current, and you'll be well prepared for the PCNSE exam. Well, Rich, that wraps up another episode of the Clovis Brief. I hope today's insights have been helpful as you navigate the complexities of infrastructure and security. Keep pushing forward with your PCNSE studies. Every bit of knowledge brings you closer to mastering those critical skills. Stay curious, stay secure, and remember, there's always something new to learn in this ever-evolving field. Until next time, keep those systems locked down tight. Signing off, Rich.